So, you've probably seen the term Wabi Sabi popping up all over the place, right? From design magazines to wellness blogs, it seems to be everywhere. It's this Japanese philosophy that promises a more real, more authentic way of life. But what is it, really? Well, today we're going to break down this incredible concept and see how it offers a totally refreshing way to look at our world, our homes, and maybe even ourselves.
This is the definition you'll almost always hear. And don't get me wrong, it's a great starting point. It's this poetic little nugget that seems to capture the whole idea. And it does. But really, it's just scratching the surface. It's a hint at a much, much deeper worldview.
Because, let's be honest, appreciating imperfection can feel a little vague, right? Is it just about liking old beat-up furniture or a cracked coffee mug? Nope. It's so much more than just a design trend. It's a whole mindset, a philosophy, that really pushes back against our modern obsession with being perfect. So, let's get past the buzzword and figure this out.
Okay, so first things first, we have to clear up one major misconception. The popular idea that Wabi Sabi is simply about finding beauty in flawed things. That's a huge oversimplification. It's actually a way richer and more subtle idea than that.
And this right here is the crucial shift in perspective. The true philosophy isn't about actively looking for flaws and deciding they're beautiful. It's a state of mind, with roots in Zen thought, that lets you see things just as they are, without slapping labels on them like perfect or imperfect or good or bad. It's really all about acceptance, not judgment.
Now, to really truly get Wabi Sabi, we actually need to break the word in two. See, Wabi and Sabi, they didn't start out as this one unified idea. They were originally two totally separate concepts, and each one had its own incredible journey and meaning.
And their evolution is just fascinating. Wabi once described something kind of sad, the misery of being alone in nature, away from everyone. But over time, it totally transformed to mean something beautiful, rustic simplicity, a kind of quiet, humble contentment. And Sabi, that originally meant something was withered, rusted, or just desolate. But it also evolved to mean the incredible beauty that only comes with age, that serene character that the passage of time creates.
So you bring these two amazing ideas together, and this is what you get. Wabi Sabi becomes this whole worldview that just accepts the natural flow of things, growth, decay, and all the stuff in between. It's about appreciating that one fleeting moment, knowing that nothing lasts forever, and finding this deep, quiet beauty in that very truth. Okay, enough with the theory. How does this philosophy actually show up in the real world? The incredible thing about Wabi Sabi is how it shaped so much of Japanese art and culture, giving us these really tangible ways to see and feel this abstract idea.
This is the legendary origin story of the whole Wabi Sabi aesthetic. So there was this 16th century tea master, Sen no Rikyu. He's asked to tend to a garden, and he makes it immaculate, perfectly clean, perfectly raked. But then, right before he presents it, he walks over to a cherry tree and just gives it a little shake. A few petals scatter across the moss. And that one small, natural touch of imperfection was what brought the whole scene to life. Genius.
And Sen no Rikyu applied this exact same thinking to the Japanese tea ceremony. He completely tossed out the fancy, super expensive utensils that the nobility used. Instead, he chose simple, rustic, and often imperfect bowls. He transformed the whole thing from a show of wealth into this refined ritual of mindfulness, all based on these four core principles.
And here we have what is maybe the most powerful visual for Wabi Sabi there is, kintsugi. When a piece of pottery breaks, it isn't thrown away or glued back together to hide the damage. No. The cracks are mended with lacquer that's mixed with gold. The damage isn't a flaw to be concealed. It becomes a celebrated part of the object's story, a beautiful testament to its journey and its resilience.
And the influence just keeps going. You can see Wabi Sabi everywhere once you know to look for it. In the asymmetrical balance of ikebana, flower arranging, in the way bonsai celebrates ancient weathered trees, and even in architecture that uses natural materials that are designed to age and change beautifully over time. Now, a lot of people tend to confuse Wabi Sabi with minimalism. And I get it, they both value simplicity. But their hearts, their core philosophies are actually fundamentally different. So let's break down exactly how.
This table makes the distinction crystal clear. Wabi Sabi is ancient. It's born from Zen philosophy. Minimalism, on the other hand, is modern, a reaction to post-war consumerism. The goal of Wabi Sabi is to embrace the present moment, while minimalism is all about achieving clarity and order. One focuses on the aged and the imperfect, using natural, weathered materials. The other prizes purpose and control, often using shiny industrial materials.
This is it. This is the absolute key takeaway. Minimalism is an act of reduction. It's about stripping things down to their bare essentials. It's about control. Wabi Sabi, though, is an act of appreciation. It's about honoring the story, the character, and the soul of what's already there.
So this is way more than just an art history lesson, you know? Wabi Sabi offers this profound and really practical guide for our own lives. It's a way to move through the world with more grace, more acceptance, and honestly, more joy. So how do we actually do it?
Well, it really comes down to a few key lessons. First, just embrace what is, as it is. Let go of trying to be perfect. Second, accept that nothing lasts forever, which, when you think about it, makes every single moment precious. Third, notice the small stuff, the sound of rain, the warmth of a mug in your hands. Fourth, celebrate your own history. Your wrinkles, your scars, they tell the story of a life that's been lived. And finally, remember that life is a process, a journey to experience, not some problem that you need to perfect.
And you can bring this feeling right into your own home. It's not about buying a new Wabi Sabi decor set. It's about choosing things that have a bit of soul. Go for natural materials that age well, like wood or linen. Maybe choose a handmade mug over a factory-perfect one. Use earthy, calming colors. And please, don't be afraid of a wrinkle in your sheets or a scratch on your table. That's just life happening.
Ultimately, Wabi Sabi is just this gentle invitation to look at our own lives with the same kindness we'd give a cherished, cracked teacup. It asks us to stop chasing some impossible ideal and instead to find all the beauty in our authentic, ever-changing, perfectly imperfect reality. So I'll leave you with this. What story do your imperfections tell?